The actual flyer will be in your meeting packet next week when it's, or for the next meeting. But April 14th at 7 p.m. To be held virtually is the first public forum for the MVP Action Grant related to tree and invasive species management plan and tree inventory in town. It's been so that should be in your next packet, and a link will certainly be available for people to join. And secondly, Gotham Anoop, who was the Eagle Scout who did the footbridge out on the Kloppenberg Trail, reached out to me. He passed his Eagle Board of Review, and I wanted to just congratulate him for passing the board review, but in his email he also wanted to thank the commission and the appreciation for the help in the process and allowing the project to be on the commission's land. So very good. Make sure those got passed along. That's all I have. Yeah.
Anything from the audience? Seeing none, we've got a couple of minutes. Conservation land. We have Jim Sycamore and Cypress back on there.
Yes, that'll come off short. We're working, now that we have regular snow melting, we're looking to get that wrapped up so we can take this off for good. 41, no, sorry, Mr.
41 Hitler Street, potential conservation restriction. Do you guys have a chance to look at that? If you got any comments, get back to us.
Yeah.
We'll be going over this further at our next meeting.
Okay, one thing I was noticing is it seemed like it's contradictory on information about forestry. In one place, it talks about any cutting of removal of trees is prohibited, and then 3 paragraphs later, when it talks about allowed activities, forestry is allowed.
I think it's allowed I can certainly look into that, but I think it's the requirement for forest management. They need to be done with a forest management plan. It's not just, oh, I want to take down a tree. It's, if it is occurring on the property, it's, through a DCR forest management plan.
Okay, it does say that in the forestry part, but in the prohibited, it just says cutting of or destroying trees, shrubs, grasses, or other vegetation is prohibited, period.
Yeah, I mean, and this is state language. This is, the state template, so.
It's contradictory.
2 uses I did, 2 permitted uses that I did remove. One was hunting. I haven't heard back from the property owner about it's just, I mean, if they want to include it, I don't see there being a problem with it, or if they want it removed, it's, more just personal choice. And then also in the permitted uses is the construction of green energy facilities, which in reading it, I was concerned that it would be allowed to cut down the trees to put in solar facility, solar panels and things like that. And I felt like that kind of was contradictory to, if it was an open field and, they were looking to do something, I thought that would maybe be more consistent. But where it is heavily forested, I thought it best to remove.
Has it already been funded through the CPC or partly funded?
No, we have money. We just got the appraisal back.
We got the appraisal back, and I'll be setting up an executive session for the commission's next meeting.
So we have enough money in the trust fund now to cover this, okay? So we don't have to go to town meeting in the spring.
That's right, yeah.
So yeah, we'll have an executive session at our next meeting. Okey-dokey. Okay, let's move on to our 7:05 p.m., which is a public hearing for Nokia, 1 Robbins Road, 334-1789.
Under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and Westford's Non-Zoning Wetlands Bylaw, Chapter 171, the Westford Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, March 7th, 2022 at 7:05 p.m. in Meeting Room 201 at Town Hall, 55 Main Street, to consider the Notice of Intent application of Nokia Westford for construction of utility improvements, including new cooling towers, a sanitary sewer pump station, pad-mounted transformers, electrical duct banks, sanitary sewer mains, and water services within 100 feet of bordering vegetative wetlands at 1 Robbins Road.
Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
Good evening. My name is Mark Gabriel. I'm a senior project manager with Niche Engineering. And here with me today is Steve Lee. He's owner's project manager with JLL. And behind me over there, in case there's any MEP questions, is David Wilson. He's the MEP with AHA Engineers. And on the phone here is Lori Spillman. She's a representative of the applicant, who is Nokia. So as we begin, I just want to quickly ask Lori to kick off the presentation over the phone by helping explain a little bit about Nokia.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the commission for working with my schedule and allowing me to settle in remotely. As mentioned, my name is Lori Spillman. I'm the head of project delivery for Nokia of America, and wanted to just give a few words about Nokia specifically. Many of you probably likely think of Nokia from the early ages of the cellular technology and might have had at one point a Nokia phone. But what we really are is a technology company with a primary focus on connecting technology to everyone. To turn it real for you all, many of you might have had the benefit of Nokia during the pandemic. As we provide the infrastructure and gear that support internet service providers that serve businesses and homes in all of our communities. To bring this even closer to the Westford facility, our Westford business group there is one of the key R&D development businesses within Nokia, and they help to test and improve speed to deliver all of these products across the globe. So with that brief introduction about Nokia, I'll pass back to the team locally to share with you all more about what we're looking to achieve.
Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that. All right, so I had boards for the project, and I was just told by Matt that he's got these up here, so this is terrific. And I'll speak to these graphics to streamline my conversation a lot more. This is the rear side, south side of the facility off of 1 Robbins Road. Littleton Road is to the north. Some of you here...
You want to give him the laser pointer?
Oh.
Yellow button?
Orange
Yellow button?
Orange in the middle.
Orange in the middle, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. So the large expanse of white here and over in this area is the existing building today at 1 Robbins Road. And Robbins Road goes north-south right here, and Littleton Road goes east-west to the north up in this area here, just to kind of give you an idea where we are. We're on the south side of the facility. Some of you may have heard the Bloom Energy project recently, and that project was permitted in this area right here. So, and another way to give you a context of where we are. All right. So the wetlands also, you have a bordering vegetative wetland down in the corner right in this area. Thank you very much. And the stormwater basin in this area right here. The existing conditions today are as you come into the driveway here from 1 Robbins Road, this is a driveway through this area. Going down, there's a loading dock in here. Driveway continues around. There's parking all along here, parking in the back. There's some parking along in this area as well. Parking off to the side. So building surrounded by parking, essentially. Driveways, and then you have some manicured lawn up in this area and up in this area as well as over in here. So building, driveways, parking areas, and manicured lawn is essentially what exists there today. Over near the wetland area, you have the BVW, and there's a wood guardrail along here that follows the edge of the driveway. There's also a raised curb in this area here as well. And so this is the forested portion in this area over here. And then, as I mentioned, the stormwater basin in this area right here. So that's essentially what touch upon what exists today. Matt, if you could scroll to a similar image for the proposed, there we go, perfect. All right, so here is the proposed conditions. That, again, we're the same area. This is the Bloom Energy Project footprint right in that spot right there. The work includes excavation of utilities, proposed excavation of utilities, bringing electricity in from the cul-de-sac off of Robbins Road into the site, bringing in that power to new transformers in this area right here to then feed into the facility. So there is some, as you can see on here, the exterior work, but there's also just some interior renovation to the building going on in this area. There's a new mechanical facility right here, building. It is intended to support the chillers, which are over in this area right here. There's 4 chillers on stands in this area right here. There is some interior renovations going on in here. And each of this building, this building, and these chillers.
Cooling towers.
The cooling towers, thank you. They have there's a pump station right here, a new sewer pump station right here that then ejects any of the discharge into it out a sewer force main that goes over, and there's an existing sewer manhole on the area of the site over here.
Focus, can you just back up again?
Sure.
So tell me more about this sewer line that you have running here.
Absolutely, yep. So there's a sewer pump station right here. And you have, basically, there's an area drain in this building right here that's required by code. And there's an area drain with the interior work in this building right here that's also required by code. It's not sanitary. It's not for bathrooms. And then the cooling, chill tower, cooling.
So
cooling
this sewer
tower,
is
sorry.
not for sanitary, it's for something else?
Correct, exactly. Yep. And then the condensate from these cooling towers also has just discharge that goes into this sewer pump station. So it's very, very low flow pump station, and it picks it up. There's a force main that follows right along in this area, curls up. There's an existing sewer manhole over here that it discharges into. There's the Bloom Energy project being right here. There's an existing water line that goes through this area, so there's a reroute of the existing water line from here around the Bloom Energy project, just so that water line's able to be accessed in the future. And we're tying in the services to the building that exists there today. That really covers the work in this area. I just think that it would be good to see if you could switch up to figure, this is good to show where the sewer force main's plugging into an existing sewer manhole over here. There's a wetland down in this area right here. The 100-foot buffer zone is right here, so we're outside of the 100-foot buffer zone with the trenching, the utilities that are coming along here. There is figure 2 with the notice of intent up top that just color codes the buffer zone. I think, there we go. Just helps show the buffer zones as it relates to the project. I think the next one down will be fine because that will show the proposed work with it. So you have the existing bordering vegetated wetland right here. The purple, in green, the purple is the 30-foot no disturb, the 55-foot no building zone, which we strive to keep the work out of. Even though this is disturbed, this is all parking lot. We figured we can scooch the utilities up to stay out of that 55-foot no building zone. And then the 100-foot wetland buffer is right here, and that's in blue. Same colors go for over in this area, the blue, the red, purple, and the green. So that's essentially, this is the work that we're proposing as the part of this application, and be happy to take any questions you may have on it.
Questions, Eric?
I had the one issue with the sewer, but it's not sanitary. It's just like a cool, or, sort of like it's not sanitary. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Correct.
Cooling fluid or spent cool.
Do you want to speak?
Overflow from the cooling towers when they need to be drained. For the most part, that's.
And what do you think about that that's inside the 100?
Yeah, it depends how you would classify what's coming out of there.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, typically we wouldn't allow that within the 100 foot.
It is clear liquid, it's not treated
So why do you have to pump it down the force main?
So that's a good question. We looked at doing a gravity feed through it to the sewer manhole that's over here. And the slopes were getting too shallow, and the frost coverage as well. So we found it better to pump to that area.
So what's at the end of the force main?
The end of the force main here is an existing sanitary manhole that some of the other portions of the building discharge its sanitary into.
All the gazintas are there, but where's it go?
Yep. Then it comes out of that manhole. Yep. They all kind of meets right here. Comes out of that manhole. There's an existing pump station here today for the complex that then discharges that out of here. I'm going to guess to the municipal system somewhere.
No, we don't have a municipal system.
Yeah, we
That's
don't.
what we're asking.
Good question. Then I don't know the end route of that, but this is tying into that system right there. I'm not sure where the septic system is.
So we'll get a
with the facility.
clarification on that.
We can. Yep.
And whatever it is has to,
Because I'm not sure that goes over to the treatment plant.
Neither am I. So
Whatever-
I go
whatever it
right
is,
now,
yeah.
we're just trying to figure it out.
Because this building has been here for a long time.
Yeah.
whatever it is, it has to be sized for the additional flow.
Well, and that's the question, is what, does this contribute, how much additional flow would this new be put into that system?
Sure, it's very minor on the increase in flow. The numbers off the top of my head, I'm not quite sure. Okay, I can get you the numbers, but it's very minor because it's just overflow for the condensate when it is bled down.
There's got to be a field somewhere there, because you're right, I believe this never got tied into the new station. Because that's up the top, that's up by right. Yeah, so we need to find that out.
Yeah, in
And I
some,
guess
in
the
some
other
places,
thing-
the plan does say sanitary sewer. On sheet 301, the one with the show, yeah, I think it's this one here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Way up there, I think it says something about the sanitary sewer line. That's the one that comes out of the existing building. It says sanitary sewer
Sewer
connection.
connections refer to MAP plans.
Right. So it's not just condensate water that's coming through that. But, and I can't tell where it goes.
Happy to figure out where that
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Absolutely.
So we need to find out from the state how they classify this water. Because if they say it has to go into a sewage treatment plant,
Yeah, we don't have one.
right?
Well, they could collect it and take it to one.
Yeah, that's what I
They
mean.
couldn't discharge on site.
Yeah. Because obviously, there's nothing in our bylaw that describes this, so.
Mhm.
So we need to find that out, how
Sure.
the state classifies this wastewater.
Yep. And where it goes to, right, was the other
Yes.
question?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
How much, where it goes to, and what it is. Right?
So along that whole force main, there's no other real sewer going into there
No, not in the.
anywhere, right?
Correct.
Until it reaches the endpoint.
Correct, exactly.
All right.
And how much of that is within the 100?
Well, it's that upper left
It's
section
that upper
there.
corner, yeah, that, but
Yeah.
it's just that one little,
Right,
Yeah.
right through here, yeah, exactly.
The other issue would come up is that since it does tie into the septic, that there's got to be some kind of backflow preventer on there.
On the
If the
pump
pipe
system,
breaks.
yeah, that can be included as part of the pump system, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
all right. Yeah, otherwise, Eric, if it would be classified as sewage, we'd have to have them encase it.
yeah, well, either that, or first ask them to
mobile.
find a location outside the 100, and if it wasn't, we'd have to have them vaulted somehow.
In regards to sorry, Peter.
Yeah.
In regards to encasement, a thought that comes to my mind is maybe poly wrapping the pipe within the 100-foot buffer zone? Or are you thinking
No,
more of a
but-
concrete?
We're more than that.
More of a concrete?
It's typically, we want it to be inside of a structure, it's not just a sleeve.
Okay.
So it can't be damaged.
So more of a concrete encasement then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost something that can be inspected. You know, typically, we would say a concrete vault with something in it, so we could, it could be inspected to make sure it wasn't having a leak or any issue.
Okay. Okay. Those are my questions. Commission members have any other questions on this? Questions from the audience? Okay, so we'll, continue it in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your time frame with all this?
So we can come back with those answers in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Yeah?
And then, do you want to speak to the timeframes, Steve?
Like every project.
Of course.
Can't say any more than as soon as we can get approval. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, we want to, try to help you along here, just,
appreciate that. Yeah, so we've been, unfortunately, we kind of put the cart before the horse a little bit here. That's why we're coming to Concom probably well into the project.
yeah, you're well into your design, and
Yes,
yeah, we're
exactly.
well
You guys
beyond
go to
any
the planning board for
discussions.
We will be going to the
You will.
planning board. Yep, we're working on that process now.
Because typically, we really like you to finish with the planning board before we close.
Sure.
Because you wouldn't want to have to reopen it if they had made a modification that somehow would change what we had, come to agreement on.
Yeah, we're hoping actually to file with them very soon so that we can get on the agenda for the next meeting, which is later this month.
Okay, great. All right, can I have a motion to continue this to our meeting on the March 23rd?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good to go, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Lori.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to our 7:15 PM agenda item, which is a public hearing for Palevsky, 60 Elm Road. It's an IDA.
Under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and Westford's non-zoning wetlands bylaw, Chapter 171, the Westford Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, March 9th, 2022 at 7:15 p.m. in Meeting Room 201 at Town Hall, 55 Main Street, to consider the request for determination of applicability application of Gary Palevsky for installation of a 10 by 12 gazebo within 100 feet of Nabnasset Lake at 60 Elm Road.
He's going to be on the phone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not able to take your call. The message will be more.
Great.
Told you to call.
Hi, Gary, this is Matt.
Matt, Gary,
Yep, hold on, you're on speakerphone with the commission.
thank you all very much.
Okay, you want to describe what you want to do here?
Pete?
Yes.
It's you. You're the applicant.
Okay, sure. Really what we're, hopefully simple is, we want to just put a screen, a gazebo, on the side of the house, setback from the lake, meeting all the setbacks that we're required to, from the side yard, from the water, and from the septic to the best that we can with the plans that were provided. And, not block the neighbor's view to the degree that we can, but to shield us from the mosquitoes that ruin every night out there.
Gary, this is Matt. Can you describe the existing conditions as to where you're what's actually on the ground where you're proposing?
Sure. So right now, that area, the property line on the right side, which would be kind of the, I guess, east, and our side yard is, mostly dirt. It's grass. It was grass at one point, but it's just, it's grass or dirt. Let's just say it's that. It slopes a bit down. I think the plan that you have may show the elevations towards the lake, and there's vegetation. There's bushes and shrubs along the lake that will remain. We would put up a silt barrier so we have to put a bed of 3 to 4 inches of stones, and in order to do that, we would have to find as level a spot as we could, and then just level it out and fill it in with stone to set the prefab. right now, it's Reed's Ferry 10 by 12, vinyl, pressure-treated interior, and it's all vinyl wrapped. That would be delivered.
So he's putting in like sonotubes so he can pour a concrete footing to set this
No,
on?
it's just crushed stone.
Just crushed stone.
That's crushed down.
4 inches of-
Okay.
3 or 4
Just gonna
inches
sit
of-
on the crushed stone, Eric, so
No,
there's
I
no
heard that.
foundation.
Sounds good to me.
Now, anything else around this? Is he putting patio block or any other pavers around this if he's using this for a gazebo? I mean, any other improvement?
No, well, no, no. What I would like to potentially do is, whatever we have to, the stone in, the land pitches, pretty substantially, I guess, towards the water. I would like to not have to cart that off anywhere and just, and then ideally plant some kind of clover, something native, to the Westford area that's not going to be high maintenance. It's a very shaded area because of all the trees that are there. So, to help.
Gary, you keep breaking up. Can you repeat about
What I heard is he's not, that he was planting ground cover.
Yeah, he's
And
planting-
he wasn't going to be putting in
Yeah.
any type of, paver or anything, no other improvements other than just planting.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's okay.
And no tree cutting, right?
No tree cutting.
Okay, great.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Then I'm fine with this.
Me too.
Everybody good?
Public.
Yep. Any question from the public? Yeah.
Hey, Dan.
How you doing?
For the record, Dan Doherty. I thought Gary would be here, but I was just,
Which button is it?
which button?
The orange one in the middle.
There you
Oh,
go.
a new one, okay.
Yeah, okay. The location here, I actually met with Gary out there. Now, originally, he's got permission to do a screen porch right on the corner here. So for cost considerations, I think he's moved the plan to here. But over here is my daughter's house, which is a screen porch too. So they might as well hand hot dogs to one another when they're having a party. And I'm just wondering if it, I've talked to Gary about it, but he doesn't feel like he can do that with the commission to move it over to here, which, I'm not here to say he can't do it or shouldn't do it. It's just the idea that this is a much better spot for it, for both
You could
properties.
potentially move it 8 feet.
What's that?
Right now, it seems like he's 33 feet from the edge of, see where it's 33 feet to the edge of the shed?
Edge of the pond.
We wouldn't let him get any closer than probably 25.
30.
So if he slipped,
30.
Thirty.
30.
Is it 30?
Yeah, it's 30.
No structure.
So that's the,
would this considered a actual,
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I think so.
okay?
I think it's consistent
30.
with,
but the point is, he's already got okay from this board to do it here. Right? Which.
It's part of his
idea-
house.
Yeah, I mean, that's the deck, he was gonna screen that in.
Yeah.
Which ultimately is still the best plan, but, I get it, if, he doesn't wanna spend the money to do whatever, but this is kinda like, if you look at it, the sunsets are right here too, so he's kind of, blocking it and everything, it's kind of an awkward spot for it, you know what I mean?
So did you talk, when you walked with the neighbor, did you talk with him and tell him
Yeah.
what your preference was, and what did he say?
No, that's Gary right now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
I mean, he
he's
can't see
thinking
what
the
you-
commission won't let him do it, is more like.
Oh, he was concerned that we wouldn't allow him to move it at all from this position?
Exactly.
Oh, no, I mean, there's,
3
he has,
feet.
he's got a little bit of, I mean, if it's.
We wouldn't let him come, like, if Peter says, if it's
Right, not-
structure, then it can't be
Not-
closer than 30.
Right, not closer to the lake, but parallel with the shoreline, could move it a little closer to the walkway there, right?
but I think the blue is also showing his septic tank.
Right. Up
So,
yeah.
right, yeah, so, I mean, that's the, when the applicant came in initially, thinking about this, it was, 10 feet from the side lot line, 10 feet from the house, 30 feet from the water body. You don't want to put it on the septic,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
this is on a septic, right here.
I don't know, I mean, he's meeting the setbacks, the town setbacks over the property line, Stan. I mean,
You convince your neighbor to put it someplace else that's still 30 feet from the pond.
Well, I guess,
Be
I
okay
guess
with that
that's,
too?
that's the thing, you know, if that's not what you're gonna allow, and that's where it's gotta stay, then that's where it's gotta stay. We gotta live with it, I guess. Just,
Well, I guess you could kick it 3 feet forward, but I don't know if that's gonna help much.
no.
Right.
No, it's just like you know, I just don't see whether, you know, if this was,
Or even spinning it. Right now, he has it this way. Maybe he reorients it, and it, you know, doesn't impact
well,
the view shed.
take the 12 and turn it,
Yeah.
that'd gain a little bit, but, you know, I guess if you moved it 8 more feet and did that.
Well, I mean, if you took it and you spun it and you slid it down a little bit, I think that
Don't get me wrong, I don't want him not to have this, I'm not,
I'm not trying to take it away from him either.
yeah. But I just.
He doesn't have a lot of room to move it, but he does have a little. And
Right,
if
well,
you
but what I'm
convince
saying
him
is,
that,
if I think, you know, and for all intents and purposes, I mean, if taking consideration the lot and everything that's on it, it makes more sense as opposed to what I guess is allowed, or what you want to allow.
Yeah, if I may, just for a second, the situation is probably the least desirable of what the options could have been. And when you look at the existing lot, when you factor in the lake and the setbacks and the trees and the sidewalk, well, and the septic, I wasn't left with a lot of options.
it's true.
No kidding.
It's not going to be the most convenient thing is to come out of the house, come down the stairs, to go into the screened area to, you know, to eat something off the grill. You know, ideally, you know, it would have been connected. I think the commission's aware that, you know, just within the past year, we had plans of doing, you know, significantly different projects, and that didn't work out. It's just, you know, we need shelter from the mosquitoes. Bottom line, it's that plain and simple. And with, you know, the requirements of the wetlands and the town, there's really not a lot of options for us. You know, the only thing I could say is the plan that you folks are looking at is an approximation, because it's not a civil engineer didn't draw it. And, you know, I spoke to the health department, they pulled the records, they provided where they believe the septic is. So, you know, I went with, you know, the best information that I had. And that's what we're faced with. And you know, I don't know what else to say. It's not ideal. It's not my first choice. You know, building the deck that was proposed and approved a few years ago, extremely expensive. We would have to go back into the ground. The footings that exist aren't strong enough to support what's there. The deck that's there wouldn't be strong enough to support a second, you know, a structure on it. And it just became a very expensive screened porch. And I'll certainly be the first to say that this solution isn't very cheap, but it's you know, we've had temporary screen roofs out there, and it's Hurricane Alley. You know, the winds just destroy whatever we put out there. It's not somewhat of a more, you know, stable, secure structure.
okay.
Maybe you can give him a discount at the cost of him putting in the gazebo. You could put in the screen porch for him.
I'd be happy to do that.
There you go.
I'd be happy to do that.
Hey,
But I guess at the bottom line is, if that's the only place where it can go, then,
That's it.
that's where it's
where
gonna
gonna
go.
then,
That's what he's gonna put up.
you know, there, you know, is there some way to get some permission then to do a row of arborvitae? I mean, the view is gonna be gone completely, pretty much. We don't wanna be, like I say, every party Gary has, we might as well be invited to it, you know what I mean, at this point, if that's where it's gotta go.
Hey, they're all pretty close around these parts, though.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I'm
look
saying-
how close this next door neighbor is to here, or, you know, it's a tight situation.
Yeah, I'm saying, but how about, is there a possibility of doing a row of trees or something here?
You could ask your neighbor.
You could ask your neighbor,
Right,
but,
we don't-
you know,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think we're ever adverse to planting trees.
Yeah, your daughter's property could plant some trees. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
that's what I'm,
I'm sorry, are you asking me to plant the trees?
No. At this point here, you're poor. You can't do it, so I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying? You said you can't put the screen porch on where it should have gone originally.
Anybody in Westford is poor.
So I think we're good with this porch, but if you can figure out some other arrangement that, you know, but if he's building the porch, it looks like it's gonna be there.
Right.
Or that, yeah, that screened-in gazebo or whatever, yeah.
All right. So can we issue a conditional negative here?
No closer
Let's see,
than
is
30
is
feet.
Mr. Polewski have any changes that he wants to make, or is this the plan that he wants to go forward with?
Well, it's a plan I kind of need to go forward with.
Okay.
You know, the only thing I
Yeah.
would.
Okay.
say
Let's
is-
approve it.
That's all, well, I just want to make sure he wasn't planning on making any changes, or
So can I have a motion to approve this as a conditional?
So move.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to close the public hearing.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Gary, you're good. Thank you.
Thank you for accommodating me.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're moving.
I'm out of town then.
We're moving on to our 7:20 PM agenda item, which is a continuation of a public hearing and issue order of conditions for Hogland, 30 Magnolia Drive, 3341787. Okay, so we all good with this?
Yeah. Matt, if you want to just quickly run through the plan updates.
Sure. Since the last hearing, we submitted a revised plan. That was, the revisions were just to address the comments from the last hearing. The revisions include changing a portion of the impermeable pavers to permeable pavers. That was just the lowest section closest to the wetlands. We also located the sewer pipe from the foundation to the manhole in Magnolia Drive. And then we increased the size of the perimeter drain. It's now 125 feet total length, surrounds the impermeable portion of the patio, and it was designed to capture and infiltrate the 25-year storm. And then also, part of the patio design wasn't clear on the design plan that I had, and there is also a kitchen island that's in the middle of the patio. Yeah, it's shown on that plan. It's just to the left of the pool. There's a sink, so there would be a water connection and a drain that both go back to the house. And then I think you said there was going to be a gas stove?
So right now, we currently have a gas grill on our existing deck. We're looking to have a grill down in that section too, that we would aim to have I'm not sure how it works, but siphon off and pipe it to that grill.
So there would just be utility connections going from the house to that kitchen island. And those are all the changes to the plan. So if anyone has any questions or comments?
Any questions?
So the extension of the gas line to the kitchen area is going to be below the pavers?
Yes.
From a permitting perspective, is there anything that the town would require to make sure that those lines don't inadvertently get damaged?
I think that's all building code.
Okay,
so-
so it's already been reviewed from a building code perspective, what you're proposing
Well, I
to
mean,
do with the gas line?
I think just in working with the building department, when the permit for the pool and all the stuff out there gets, the building permit application
Okay,
comes in.
So it's
he'll
reviewed
re-
at that point?
Yeah, the building commissioner will be reviewing it to make sure it's consistent with building code.
Gas inspector will be out there to look
Yeah,
at it.
exactly. Electrical again for the pool.
Yep.
So it's.
Got no comment.
You guys good with the plan?
Good.
How about the order of conditions? Have you gone through the order of conditions?
Yes, we did. We reviewed it, and I don't think we had any issues with that.
Okay.
I had sent Matt, two, suggested revisions in the project description. The the language doesn't talk about the construction of a paver patio, the kitchen island with utilities, the landscape bed, and so I just thought it would be good to expand the description to include those elements. And then there was a condition 39, prohibits felling and disposing of trees in the wetlands. And I thought that that would also apply to the buffer zone that's outside the limit of work, you know, that it's not the wetlands, but it's still an area where trees should not be felled or disposed of.
So did
Do you
you,
have any issue with that?
No.
you already had the language in it?
I have Margaret's,
You do.
her comments, her edits.
Is that it, Margaret?
Yep.
Anybody else?
I'm good.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the order of conditions
As amended.
as amended, yes.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion to close the public hearing.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're
You're all
good.
set?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to our 725, which is a continuation of a public hearing for KC Building LLC, 59 Hilder Street.
Good evening, everyone. Mark Slager from Allen Engineering, here on behalf of KC Building. Also to my left is Russ Trawick of KC Building. I just want to mention that the house that we're proposing to build, or he's proposing to build at 59 Hildreth Street, will be his own personal residence. This is not something he's going to build and sell to somebody else. So he's very in tune with all the conditions that the commission typically requires. We made some changes to the plan. Hopefully Matt can bring that up. We made some modifications to the house footprint, which is actually slightly smaller in total area. But there is a little wing on the back, which will be, is that a family room on the back, Russ? And we've downsized the patio a little bit as well. We've added the pool house and we've added a dry well for the pump, backwash for the pool filter. Let's see what else we did. One of the big things we did was we added a retaining wall along a 50-foot no disturb to level out the backyard area. There'll be a landscape buffer at the top of the wall that will actually serve as a rain garden and capture any runoff from the pool and patio and backyard area. And it will filter down through the vegetated filter strip down into the soil underneath rather than sheet flowing across towards the wetland. So the entire backyard area will be captured and preventing any runoff from going in that direction. Similarly, we have a stone trench proposed at the bottom of the slope / limit of work to catch any of the runoff from the roof and from the driveway area. So that, again, will prevent any runoff from directly discharging towards the wetland, and it'll be contained within that stone trench. Those are the major modifications that we've made to the plan. I also want to point out that lots 1 and 2 combined will have in excess of 1 acre of total land disturbance, so we will be applying for a stormwater permit with the planning board. We hope to get that application in shortly. We won't likely be on the planning board's agenda until April, so we have some time. I don't think there's any need to close the hearing tonight or issue the order tonight, because I don't think Matt has it ready anyway. So with that in mind, I think if we are going to continue, we could go into April for the continuation. So at this point, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Eric?
Your proposed integrated block retaining wall, how high?
It's going to be about 6 feet high in some places. And there will be a fence on top of it as well. So the entire backyard is actually going to be fenced in. Let's see, the orange button. So there'll be a fence, basically around the entire backyard for the pool area, including the fence on top of the wall. That'll obviously serve as a good delineation of where the no disturb is, but we still are proposing the posts along the 50-foot no disturb.
Do we need
as
any
well.
type of like engineer, I mean, I don't know how.
I mean, so that'll need a building, I mean, if it's 6 feet, that'll need a building
Yeah.
permit, and, you know,
Right.
that'll need to be.
Well, that's what I was wondering, you know, because sometimes we've, you know, when they get to a certain height, we've had issues in the past, so.
Over 4 feet is,
Okay.
requires a building permit, and
Primary and secondary septic, because that's just in the front, so that's
Mhm.
no issues.
Right.
Backflow and everything on the pool is all,
Outside 100 feet.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
outside the
it's
100.
outside the
Set.
100. Pool equipment is outside
talking about native plantings.
the 100.
Yeah, looks
What
good.
else is there?
That's it.
I have, I mean, just in terms of the difference between the original proposed plan, this entire, the area to the north of the proposed pool is showing the tree cover, sorry.
Yeah,
Tree
we-
line being, that has been now cleared. So-
Yeah, there's additional clearing going on in here for additional yard area. But north of that, or west of that wall, we're not proposing anything except a well. But there is gonna be a little bit of yard area for grandkids to play around in, outside the pool area.
That means there'll be gates in the fence.
Yes, there'll be a gate through the fence and a, little, grass slope that the kids can roll down.
And then you're gonna have to put markers then on the other side of that retaining wall.
They do contain.
Yeah, I
there-
have,
yeah,
a
there's-
total of 9 markers, I believe.
Yeah, there's one at the
All the way
top
down
corner.
from here,
Yeah,
following.
one up
here,
there.
one here.
all the way
Yeah.
up to here.
Okay. All right.
Mark, just a quick question. Could we move this one, you know, this?
Yeah, that was an oops.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to double check.
Yep.
And I mean, everything, just my concern is that now the entire pool has been moved into the buffer, whereas as originally proposed, it was straddling the 100, but
It's outside the 70.
it is outside the 75. And I mean, where the retaining wall will need to be, the question I have for the commission is, you know, a 6-foot high retaining wall, would the commission consider that a structure? Whereas that's now at the 50.
No, we never have before.
In the past, it's never been considered a structure.
Just want clarification from the commission.
Although it is more, you know, it's just not a retaining wall. It's a retaining wall. He's got plantings behind it. I mean, it's quite a, for lack of a better word, a structure, but, you know, I get it. Mark, between the edge of the retaining wall and the house here, there's grading, but is that a fence there, or? I'm just trying to see that.
Oh, yeah. There's a fence that follows along.
Right, and
the
it comes,
wall.
and then that little jog right in here,
Yeah, there's a fence that comes down here and then squares off to the
okay,
corner of the house.
okay.
Please watch out.
No gate or anything there that,
Yeah, there'll be a gate there.
okay.
There'll probably be a gate on the other side as well.
Any other questions from the commission? So, to build that retaining wall, how much work are you gonna have to do within the buffer, the 50-foot buffer to get that wall?
Within 50 foot.
Yeah, so you're not
You
gonna,
really only need like 6 inches between the silt fence and the bottom of the wall because it's just a block wall that sets on a crushed stone pad.
So you're building it really from the back side.
Right.
okay.
It's gonna be more than just sitting on a pad if it's a 6-foot wall, right?
Yeah, typically they can put them on a crushed stone pad, and they're just integrated blocks, whereas if it's a poured concrete wall, it would have to have a concrete footing with reinforcing steel.
Whatever the engineering approval is for the wall.
Yeah, so, I mean, these are great walls because the limit of work is basically the face of the wall, within 6 inches.
Any other questions? Questions from the audience on this application? Okay, seeing none, we're going to continue this to April
So it's the
13th
14th,
or the 27th?
13th.
13th?
13th? Yeah, okay.
Motion to continue this to April 13th?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're good.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
I did notice that the 53 Elm Road is on for a discussion item down at the bottom.
That they replied back to DEP.
Yeah, from the DEP.
Yep,
to their
that's it.
appeal. If you want to take that at any point, I'll be here to answer any questions, because I did have a conversation with DEP this afternoon to update you. If you want
Oh,
to-
yeah, let's talk about it now since you're here. So what was your conversation with DEP?
Well, I spoke with Tyler Ferrick. Based on the recently submitted plans, they're comfortable with the recent design. However, they would like us to file a request for an amendment with you guys, and have you guys address the amendment, then they will withdraw their appeal.
Okay,
All right, we can do that.
makes sense.
Yep.
So the question is, can I do this as a minor modification, or do I need to reopen the public hearing and re-advertise?
Thinking it's not a minor mod.
Yeah.
Yeah, my understanding is a full amendment, go through the full amendment, needs to be noticed, butters need to be notified. I spoke with Dan earlier today, and I can certainly give you a call tomorrow about timelines. I mean, we can use the Lolson and try and get on the next February 20th or March 23rd meeting, or the next one after that would be the 13th. So I can certainly, we can have this conversation tomorrow, but.
Okay,
Well, apparently I just need to do a butters list.
right, exactly, do the mailing.
Okay?
Yeah, okay, great.
That's gotta be mailed by the 16th, you said?
Yeah, it need no later than 5 days, 5 business days prior to the meeting, so that would have to be postmarked no later than the 16th. But if you're gonna go with that, let me know so I can, get something drafted into the Lolson.
Okay,
Okay, great.
Good
Thanks,
enough.
guys.
great, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our last agenda item, which is continuation of a public hearing for Franklin, 31 Bridge Street. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hello,
How you doing?
ladies.
So we've heard back from the state?
Yes.
Yes, we got technical comments we received last Monday, I guess. And they want clarification as to what's being proposed and how the project meets the performance standards of BLSF in the regulations. And their also comments was the wetland delineation was a little outdated.
24 years?
So I did speak with Chris, the applicant, beginning of this week, maybe? Last week?
Last week, because you sent me that stuff.
Right, and so kind of the, next step is to wetland delineation needs to be done by somebody who is
Yeah, well, it just has to be redone.
Yeah, that needs to be redone.
It can't be
and-
historic, they want it
Right,
recent.
And at the same time, make sure, summarize what's being proposed. I mean, it is the existing conditions, we're not filling there's no filling anything. It's just kind of codifying what's there.
Continuing to try to make it better.
Right. And so, and how those tie into the performance standards. So, I think that was, again, did you make any?
I didn't make any progress. I had
Okay.
a Board of Health issue since I talked to you. I had a fire and a Board of Health issue, so I was.
Okay.
Had other fish to fry.
All right, so you understand what you gotta do next?
Yeah, I gotta hire somebody to do a survey, because once that's done, then we can fill in around it.
Right.
So I didn't get a chance to start calling anybody, but
Okay.
Land Tech or whatever will be
Okay.
on my list on Monday.
So we'll give you another month, all right?
Thank you.
All right, and hopefully when you come back in a month,
Well,
maybe it will be done.
I don't know what people are finding. I mean, our engineers, can I get if I hand them your experience, and I haven't done a floodplain design in 24 years.
Yeah.
Is it something they can get done in a month?
Yeah, well, you know,
I don't know.
you've got to get out there and find somebody, and see how busy they are.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
really
know.
up to them.
Yeah, I understand, you know. So, all right, I
But
will see what I
you're
can
still going to
find.
come back here in a month and tell us what progress you've made,
Okay,
okay?
cool.
Maybe you
Even if
won't.
you haven't made progress, you gotta come back in a month.
You got to come back,
Understand,
okay?
we've had a few of those also.
We've had a few of those, yeah.
So I understand that, all right, I will,
We'd like to at least hear from you in a month that you've hired somebody to do it.
oh, yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
hoping to have somebody in a week or so, but
Fine,
again,
that's
I
great.
can't.
That's great. We just want to make sure it's all moving forward.
Yep,
All right?
okay, cool.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks.
That's it.
That's it. We dragged you out for that.
We're going to continue this for a month till 4/27?
413. I mean, we can.
Yeah, 4/13.
Okay.
That's a month. Motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Chris.
Anything else?
One thing I probably should have brought up in open forum. Remember, we got a citizens activity request
Yeah.
from a gentleman, I forget where he lived. But anyway, he'd been active in
Yep.
conservation commissions in his prior town.
Yep.
And I know we don't have an opening now,
Yep.
but are there other, anything else in town where his skills might be valuable?
Conservation Trust? Trail Steward?
Citizens activity form.
What?
I don't know what you're talking.
Oh, I think you sent us or maybe it wasn't you.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't have sent it. It goes through the town clerk's
Oh,
office.
okay, we got something from the town clerk's office that somebody,
I'll follow up on that, and we'll.
He's the guy you know.
Put him to work.
Samantha sent it to us.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
Marilyn sent it.
remind her to send them to me too. Administer the commission.
Michael Ruggieri, I guess is his
Okay,
name. He lives
yeah.
on Robinson
Okay,
Road.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll certainly reach out to them, follow up with them, and we can. I'll take a look and see what's open in town.
Okay.
So.
Motion to adjourn?
Actually, just,
Yeah?
I didn't bring it up in open forum, but, I went to AgCom on Monday night, and your contact of Darren about possibly a community garden behind the Nat Fire Station got talked about, so you're gonna be invited to the next meeting.
Cool.
But one of the things that came up is, and I'm pushing them to come up with a list of what needs to be what a site needs to have for community garden, because they need to be able to install a well for their irrigation, and they have to do soil tests. So I said, if we want to start putting these in other parts of town, you really need to come up with a list that says these are all the things that we need to check to make sure a site is suitable before people get really excited about it and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, you'll be hearing
The
from
fire
Darren.
department's right there, they have water.
No, but that's the thing is they need an on-site well because they need to be able to water even when there's a town watering ban on. That's why they do their own well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
You asked for a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you guys, thank you.